Today we're getting a visit from the Milkman. I've been vaping this one for just a few days now. It's really one of those ones I had heard about, didn't know anything about. Sounded like a flavor I might like because I do like a creamy flavor. I like the cream flavor that envelops your mouth. And so I was at a vape shop here a few days ago and they let me drip it into my Indestructible, and yeah, I bought it. So I've been vaping this on three different setups. I'm going to take you through those real quick. We're vaping them like this on the Noisy Cricket, Indestructible on the Noisy Cricket. Got a massive coil build in here. Let's see if I can get you this so you can see that massive coil build. There you go. Takes a little while to heat up, but produces a lot of vapor. Second way I've been vaping is on my RX200 with my GeekVape Avocado. Single coil build in there. Let's see if you can see this. There we go. It's got a lot of flavor, not as much vapor production, but a lot of flavor. And then again on the RX200, I've been using it in the Griffin tank as well. The Griffin tank has a dual Clapton build in there, so we've got two straight Kanthal 24 gauge builds and a dual Clapton build Kanthal as well that I've been vaping it on. And let me give you some impressions here. So first thing, avocado, or sorry, no, that's not an avocado, not at all. First thing, on the Indestructible, on the Noisy Cricket, I love this setup just because it's so small and light. I can just throw it in my pocket, go anywhere. It doesn't leak. I've never had a single leak out of this. Maybe I don't fill it as much as some other people might, but I haven't had a single problem with it. So I love to be able to throw this in my pocket, take these two things, and I'm good to vape for the day. I mean, I can literally just throw them in my pocket and vape for the day. Even with the massive build I've got in here, I tend to get a full day of vaping out of the charge on these batteries. So while it does take a minute to heat up the first hit, after that comes easily, and it doesn't eat through juice as much as I thought these massive coil builds would. It definitely takes more than, say, the build I've got on the Avocado or the Griffin, but it produces a lot of juice for the amount of juice it takes, or a lot of vapors for the amount of juice it takes. Let's take a vape on this guy. That's a cold vape. I just hit it, so that's just it. That's just warming up those coils. And now that they're warm, second pull on it. There's tons of vapor, tons of clouds, and the flavors creamy and rich and very enveloping. You can taste the cream of the flavor and a little bit of the hint of the strawberry. The strawberry isn't real pronounced; it's just a hint of it, which I like. I mean, I like it. I can vape on this all day long, really, but it's not a balanced flavor on this build. It's more of a creamy flavor, and you don't get as much of the strawberry notes. It tastes like there's a little bit of heavy cream and vanilla in here as well, just a touch of vanilla, and I don't know where that flavor is coming from because I don't see that as a part of the flavor package that One Hit Wonder says the Milkman has. But like I said, it's a nice vape. It's a very smooth. Very smooth. This is a 70-30 PGVG juice. I'm running the 3 milligram Nick, and it's still, unlike a lot of the PG juices that'll hit me in the throat and make my throat a little raw, this hasn't done that. This is very clean, very smooth, and I don't know if it's because of the type of PG they use, where they get it from. I mean, there's a lot of factors here, but I really like this one. There again, you're seeing the ramp time it takes on those massive coils. Let's go ahead and take a look at this guy. Now The build I've got in here is a 1.36 ohm build, and I'm running at 40 watts. So it's not a sub ohm build. This is really a build I put in here just to see what I'd like on it. It's a 3.5 millimeter inner diameter on the coil, and I believe it's 8 wraps on that coil. So it is a fairly substantial build for this tank, or I guess whatever, Geni dripper, whatever people like to call it. It is a fairly substantial build, but at the same time, it doesn't seem to have any problems keeping up. Good cloud production. I mean, not massive like you get with a mechanical box and those massive coils in the Cricket. It does produce plenty of vapor, fills your mouth with that flavor. You get a lot more of the sweet notes. You get a lot more of that strawberry on top, and then it's a creamy strawberry. Whereas on the RDA and the Cricket setup we just looked at, it was a cream with a hint of strawberry. Here this is strawberry with more mellow cream flavor behind it. It's a really interesting vape. Honestly, this one is probably easier for me to just sit there and chain vape on, because the flavor isn't so in your face on the cream side. It doesn't fill you up, if you will. I mean, not like you're getting a lot of calorie consumption here anyway, but it doesn't fill you up the way the vape does from the Noisy Cricket and the Indestructible. Yeah, just really nice balanced flavor, and it's great to sit there and just vape on it. And you don't even take these long hits. I'm taking these long hits because show you more of the vapors, but I mean, honestly, that's more how I would do it normally, just like that. And it's a clean, delicious flavor. It's not overpowering. I really enjoy it. I really enjoy this one. Let's go ahead and put the Griffin on here, and we'll talk about how that vape is. Unfortunately, I re-wicked when I started running this juice in here, but I did not change my coils out at first, and I felt like it was giving me some notes of the other flavors that I ran through this tank. Even though I cleaned the tank and I re-wicked it and everything, so I went ahead and put new coils in, re-wicked it, everything, so it's popping a little bit, which I find Claptons do when it's a new coil, especially in a tank. But it's still nice. Well, let me adjust my wattage here. I run this on 70 watts. I look at my volts a lot. I try to keep my volts in the mid 6s. 6.5 is good usually. I guess I'm going to run this on 80 watts because I got a 0.52 ohm build and run it at 80 watts. And you just taste that. That is a much warmer vape. The Avocado is very, very cool. This is a much warmer vape, but it is very creamy. Whereas the Avocado tastes like strawberry Nesquik. This tastes. Let's see. This tastes almost like a caramel strawberry pie. It's warmer, it's more complex. It's got still a little bit of that popping. It's not spitting at me, it's just popping. There's no juice directly going to the mouth. So it's still a clean, what I call a clean vape, but it's really complex flavor. Yeah, it's nice. And as it warms up, you get that aftertaste that some people may not like. I love it when it's a good aftertaste, and there's none of the bad aftertaste. That when it gets acidic and sits in your mouth, and you get that taste afterwards, you don't get any of that, or I haven't gotten any of that with the Milkman. It's just a very, very clean taste. Again, we're not getting the same vapor production we get out of the Cricket, but that would be the most complex flavor. We're in the Griffin tank. And that's the creamiest flavor. So if you like a creamy flavor, I would say run it in an RDA. Run some nice fat coils with it. I've got the air completely open, both on the bottom and the top. That's the way I like to run it with this juice. It's really creamy, really just engulfs your mouth. I'll show you. I'll put on this other cap that I've got for my Indestructible. It's a little chuff cap that I've got for it that changes, it has none of that top airflow, so it blocks that off completely. And when you run it that way, it's a darker flavor. It doesn't have as fruity of a note. It has more of that darker flavor. I gotta say, I'm not a fan. I use this cap typically with the fruitier flavors. I'm not a fan of it with the Milkman. That's not the way I like to do the Milkman. I like to do the Milkman just like this, just as it is. My button's not looking right. Yeah, I can do that pretty much all day. Now I've also, you might have noticed here on the Avocado that I had a different tip on here than the stock. I've got this tip that my wife actually gave me for my birthday that I really like. It's just a wide bore. It goes into a standard 510 connector. Get just that off real quick. Just a standard 510 drip tip. And so I'm running with the 510 drip tip adapter. I just like the way that tip works on here. I'm not doing just my wattage at all. Back down there. Got a creamy taste. And I will say one thing I like about this a lot more than the Griffin. It doesn't get nearly as hot, so I can vape on it more. I can sit here and hit it more. It doesn't use hardly any juice. I mean, that tank, I filled that tank up this morning, and I've been vaping on this pretty much all day long. And we still got half a tank left. I mean, it's a juice miser with really good flavor. So you get good flavor, good juice. Because I'm running at such a low wattage on this RX200, the batteries would last me days, two days minimum. So to sum up, the Milkman, I like the Milkman. The Milkman is good stuff. It's a premium e-juice and it only comes in this size. This is the only size you can get. This is, I think, 130 milliliters. Let me see here. 6 ounces, so I don't know exactly what that converts to in milliliters. I'll put it down in the description. It So it's a big bottle. You get 2 of these guys with it. It comes in nice packaging. It's got a drip tip on the huge bottle, which, I mean, I don't know if you're going to walk around like this every day. I mean, I guess depends on how much juice you go through. It might be a good idea, but it's a good mixture. It's really a good taste, and I like it a lot. Honestly, my 2 favorites, if I'm going to pick this guy just because it gives me a flavor that I really enjoy, and it doesn't get too hot, so I can chain vape on it all day. And then this guy when I just want my mouth filled with that creamy flavor. Yeah, I know, you make fun of that. But when I want that, it produces a ton of flavor. It doesn't get too hot. It gets a little bit warm, but not to a point where it's uncomfortable. And either way, I hope you guys enjoy the review. I hope you try out the Milkman. I think that's one of those juices that everyone should try at least once. Have a great day. So I forgot to mention, Milkman, I picked it up for $65 from my local vape shop. I've been looking online, doing a little Googling, and it seems about the same price everywhere. Maybe you save $2 or $3 on it, but that's really not enough for me to go and order it online instead of supporting my local vape shop. So if you want to try out Milkman, if you like a creamy juice, I'd suggest you do. It definitely paid more for juices. It's $65 for 180 milliliters, and I paid that same price for 120 milliliters of some other premium juices. I'd suggest just trying it out if you like a creamy juice. So let's stay off the stinkies, people.